What if the only reason you're not unstoppable is because you learned to stop? Not because you're weak, not because you lack potential, but because you were taught to settle long before you even realized it. Think about it. How many times have you quit right before something could have changed? Right before the breakthrough? Right before you grew into the version of yourself you keep imagining? Most people don't fail because things are impossible. They fail because they stop too early. And if you're thinking, here we go, another motivational speech, don't worry, no shouting, no dramatic slow motion scenes. This is simple. By the time you finish this video, you'll understand why some people become unstoppable and why others stay stuck in the same routines, the same habits, the same excuses. And the real question is, which one are you becoming?
Here's the truth most people avoid. It's not the world that stops you, it's your comfort. Comfort is the silent trap. It convinces you that tomorrow is a good plan. It whispers that you're tired, you've done enough, you'll start later. And without realizing it, you accept those whispers as facts. Look at your life right now. How many goals have been delayed because comfort told you to wait? How many opportunities slipped because you chose what was easy instead of what was necessary? It's never the big obstacles that destroy people. It's the small excuses that stack up. One skipped workout, one snoozed alarm, one "I'll start next week," until suddenly months are gone and nothing has changed. And here's the part that should scare you a little. Most people stay stuck not because they can't improve, but because they don't feel enough pain to change. Comfort doesn't kill you instantly. It kills your potential slowly. But here's where everything changes. Becoming unstoppable isn't a talent, a gift, or some rare DNA code. It's a decision, a shift, a moment when you stop letting your feelings vote on your future. Because the truth is this, you don't need more motivation. You don't need more confidence. You don't need a perfect plan. You need one thing, the decision to keep moving, even when it doesn't feel good. And here's the part nobody wants to hear. Most people aren't defeated by difficulty. They're defeated by their own hesitation. Hesitation is the invisible wall that keeps you trapped. The longer you stand still, the higher it feels. But the moment you take one uncomfortable step forward, the wall breaks. This is where the unstoppable version of you begins. Not when you feel ready, but when you move anyway. And what comes next is the part that separates the average from the unstoppable. There's an enemy you fight every day, and it's living in your own head. It's that quiet voice that shows up right when you're about to make progress. The one that says, maybe later. You're not good enough. What if you fail? What will people think? It doesn't yell, it whispers. And those whispers feel harmless until they control your entire life. Here's the dangerous part. That voice doesn't want you to grow. Growth demands energy, discomfort, risk. And your brain is wired to avoid all three. So that inner voice becomes a master negotiator, talking you out of the very things that could transform your life. Sometimes it sounds serious, and sometimes, let's be honest, it sounds ridiculous, like when it convinces you that checking your phone one more time will somehow fix your future. But this voice has a pattern. It always shows up when you're closest to breaking old limits. And that's your warning signal. If your mind is resisting, it's because you're heading somewhere it's never been. The question is, will you listen to the voice that keeps you small or the one pushing you forward?
This is the moment everything shifts. Because becoming unstoppable isn't about forcing yourself to work harder. It's about becoming a different kind of person. your actions will always match your identity. If you see yourself as someone who tries, you'll try. If you see yourself as someone who hopes, you'll hope. But if you see yourself as someone who finishes, someone who shows up, someone who does what others avoid, your behavior changes automatically. Unstoppable people aren't born with superhuman discipline. They simply adopt a new identity. I'm the type of person who does hard things. Once that becomes your internal story, your habits follow. Your choices follow. Your life follows. And here's the emotional truth most people avoid. You don't become unstoppable the day you achieve a goal. You become unstoppable the day you decide your old identity no longer fits you. This is the turning point. The moment you stop seeing yourself as who you were and start becoming who you're meant to be. What happens next is where the transformation truly begins. Now that the shift has begun, here's the part most people never learn. There's a real formula to becoming unstoppable. Not motivational hype, not believe in yourself. Consistency isn't about intensity, it's about refusing to break the chain. Even on the days you feel tired, uninspired, or distracted, you show up anyway. Small actions repeated daily create unstoppable momentum. You don't need to sprint, you just need to keep moving. And here's the secret. Once your brain realizes you're serious, it stops fighting you. That's when consistency becomes identity. Every unstoppable person has one thing in common. They choose the uncomfortable path on purpose. Not reckless pain, not burnout, calculated discomfort. Doing the thing that stretches you 1% beyond what feels safe. Because each time you voluntarily step into discomfort, your limits shrink, your confidence expands, and the tasks that once scared you become the new normal. You don't act according to your goals. You act according to who you believe you are. So ask yourself, what would the future version of you do today? Not the tired version, not the doubtful version, the version who already achieved the life you want. Make decisions from that identity. Make sacrifices from that identity. And suddenly your path becomes obvious because every action pulls you closer to who you're becoming. This is the formula that turns ordinary people into unstoppable forces. Every unstoppable person fights a battle you never see. A quiet daily war between who they are and who they're trying to become. One side wants comfort, familiarity, the easy path. The other side wants growth, expansion, and a life that actually means something. And every morning the war resets. Some days you wake up ready to attack the world.
Other days you wake up wanting to disappear. That's normal. That's human. But here's the defining difference. Unstoppable people keep moving even when the war is loud. They don't wait to feel right. They don't negotiate with fear. They act first and let their emotions catch up later. Because deep down, they know one truth. The version of you that wins this internal battle will decide the quality of your entire life. And here's the part most people never realize. The war doesn't get easier. You just get stronger. There's a moment when your fear starts to lose its power and your momentum begins to take over. And when that happens, that's the moment you become dangerous. Becoming unstoppable isn't a switch you flip. It's a daily reconstruction, a slow, deliberate rebuilding of the person you are into the person you're meant to become. Most people wait for massive breakthroughs. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect mood, the perfect opportunity.
But unstoppable people win because they understand a simple truth. Transformation isn't one big decision. It's 1,000 small decisions made consistently. And that's exactly why this rebuild process works. This is the anchor of your day, your proof to yourself that you're evolving. It's not about doing everything, it's about doing something that counts. Think of it like laying a brick. You're not building the whole house today. You're placing one solid brick perfectly. Because if you place one every day, the house cannot fail to rise. This daily action does something powerful. It rewires your brain. It builds a track record of I show up. And once you trust yourself, discipline stops feeling like a fight. It becomes a natural expression of who you are. This is where strength is forged. 10 minutes may sound small, but it's not about the time. It's about the signal you send to your mind. I choose the harder path on purpose. Every time you willingly step into discomfort, you break a piece of the old you, the fearful you, the hesitant you, the version of you that avoided challenge. Controlled discomfort widens your capacity. It raises the ceiling of what feels possible. And slowly, your mind learns something life-changing. If I can handle hard things in small doses, I can handle bigger things in life. Your 10 minutes become your training ground, your preparation, your sharpening ritual. This step isn't just reflection, it's self-alignment. Writing down who was I today forces you to confront the truth. Did your actions match the person you want to become? Or did you slide back into old patterns? This is where accountability lives. This is where self-honesty grows. This is where you catch the subtle behaviors that quietly shape your future. Identity lock-in turns your life into a controlled experiment. Each night you evaluate, each morning you adjust, and each day you grow 1% closer to the stronger version of yourself. And that 1%, done consistently, is what creates an unstoppable human being. Your habits become automatic. Your discipline feels natural. Your mind stops fighting you because you've trained it to follow your lead. People around you will say, "You've changed." But the truth is, you didn't change, you evolved. You rebuilt yourself from the inside out. And this is only the beginning.
There comes a moment in every person's life when they have to stop pretending they have unlimited time. And that moment is now. Because here's the truth people avoid until it smacks them in the face. Life is moving, with or without you. While you hesitate, time doesn't. While you overthink, your dreams don't wait. And while you stay stuck in the same patterns, the world keeps shifting forward. This is the part that stings. You're not running out of potential. You're running out of chances to use it. Look at the last year of your life. Did you become someone new, or did you replay the same habits, the same excuses, the same "I'll do it later" pattern? That cycle is dangerous because it feels harmless. It feels normal, but it quietly drains your future. The scariest thing isn't failing. The scariest thing is realizing nothing changed. People think their life will transform someday, as if someday is a real date on the calendar. But someday isn't a day. It's a coffin for dreams. It's the excuse that steals the next version of you. And here's the part that should shake you awake. Your life will not improve just because you want it to. It improves when you create urgency behind your actions. Urgency doesn't mean panic. Urgency means priority. It means you understand that every choice is shaping the person you become. Ask yourself, how much longer am I willing to wait? A month? A year? 5 years? Because whatever you tolerate becomes your life. And somewhere in the future, there's a version of you watching this moment, hoping you choose differently, hoping you don't waste the years they need. This is your crossroads. This is your line in the sand. This is the exact moment where your future either begins or repeats. And if your heart just dropped a little, good. It means you're waking up. There comes a point in your journey where effort isn't enough, where motivation isn't enough, where even discipline feels heavy. That's the moment most people quit. But it's also the moment unstoppable people rise. And the difference isn't talent, it's mindset. Unstoppable people understand something most people never figure out. It's not how fast you move, it's how committed you are to the direction you've chosen. Fast progress is fragile. One setback can shatter it. But consistent direction, even slow, is unbreakable. Because direction builds systems. Systems build habits. Habits build identity. And identity creates an unstoppable human being. Most people live their life in emotional weather. They work when they feel sunny. They quit when they feel cloudy. They give up when their storms hit. But unstoppable people don't rely on emotional weather. They build internal climate control. They don't ask, "Am I motivated today?" They ask, "What does the future version of me need from me right now?" That question separates dreamers from builders.
It forces you to act with intention instead of impulse. Perfection is the biggest lie holding people back. It tells you to wait until you're ready, until you have more time, until you learn more, until everything feels ideal. But unstoppable people know perfection is a trap. They understand a simple truth. Imperfect action builds future. Perfect hesitation builds regret. Persistence creates something perfection never will: momentum. And momentum is the closest thing humans have to real magic. Because once you start moving, even slowly, life begins to open doors you didn't even know existed. Being unstoppable isn't loud. It's not a constant motivational scream. It's a quiet, steady, powerful force. It's the moment when you push through a bad day without applause. It's staying late to finish something no one will praise you for. It's choosing progress over distraction, alignment over impulse, growth over comfort. This quiet strength compounds. It builds you into someone people can't understand because they only see your results, not the wars you won in silence. Eventually, something remarkable happens. Your mindset changes so deeply that quitting no longer feels like an option. Not because you're stubborn, but because the person you used to be doesn't exist anymore. Your standards rise, your decisions sharpen, your vision strengthens. And suddenly, you're not forcing yourself to be unstoppable. You simply are. At that point, success stops being a possibility and becomes a consequence. Listen, being unstoppable is not about having supernatural strength. It's about choosing every single day to stop negotiating with your excuses. It's about deciding that your goals aren't optional, they're mandatory. Your future isn't a suggestion, it's a demand. Think about it. Every person you admire, the entrepreneurs, the athletes, the creators, the innovators, none of them became unstoppable because life handed them perfect circumstances. They became unstoppable because they built a standard so high that quitting simply wasn't allowed. They didn't wait for motivation. They didn't wait for the perfect moment. They didn't wait for life to calm down. They acted again and again, especially on the days when it felt impossible. And here's the part most people never hear. Being unstoppable doesn't feel good in the beginning. It feels lonely. It feels uncomfortable. It feels like you're outgrowing the version of yourself you've known for years. But that discomfort, that's the evidence that you're finally moving. Let me put this in perspective. There are two versions of you walking into the future. The one who breaks every time life gets heavy, and the one who bends but never breaks, because they know what they're building is bigger than the struggle. Your job now is to choose which one you're becoming. Because here's the truth. Being unstoppable doesn't mean you feel strong every day. It means you show up even when you feel weak. It means you take one more step, even if the last step nearly crushed you. It means you refuse to let fear make decisions for you. You want the unstoppable version of yourself to rise? Then you must raise the standard. Stop saying, "I'll try." Start saying, "It gets done." Stop asking for easy. Start preparing for worthy. Stop waiting to feel ready. Start moving like your future is already calling your name. Because the moment you raise your standard, the moment you stop tolerating your own excuses, is the moment your entire life accelerates. Your relationships shift. Your mindset sharpens. Your habits evolve. Your results explode. Not overnight, but inevitably. You're not chasing greatness, you're realizing it. And once you start, once you decide, once you commit to this path with everything you are, there's no version of your past that can stop you anymore. That's the standard. That's the shift. That's what makes you unstoppable. If you're still here, that tells me something about you. It tells me you're not like most people. Most people quit halfway. Most people get inspired for 5 minutes, then go back to the same habits that are destroying their potential. But you're different. You stayed. You listened. You felt something shift inside you. So now, don't let this be just another motivational video you forget in 10 minutes. Let this be the moment everything turns. Let this be the moment you draw the line between the old you and the unstoppable you. Because nothing changes unless you do. So here's what I want you to do next. Not tomorrow, not someday, today. Drop it in the comments or say it out loud, but claim it, own it. Your actions start now. Not for me, for the you that needs reminders like this to stay on track. Not because you need more videos, but because you're choosing to surround yourself with the mindset that will build the future you want. Your environment matters. Your mental diet matters. And if you're serious about becoming unstoppable, this channel is now part of your toolkit. Then share this video with someone you refuse to watch settle for a small life. Someone who deserves to rise with you. This is your moment. This is your turning point. The next chapter of your life is unwritten. And you, yes you, hold the pen. So don't just walk into your future. Run, break, build, rise. And remember, unstoppable is not what you are. Unstoppable is what you decide to become. I'll see you in the next video. Now go. Prove to yourself what you've always been capable of.